Welcome to the channel and to this 1,500 point game between Sisters of Battle and Orks. Welcome to the gateway world of Hannah's Farm, gateway to the Ferris system. It is under siege by the Green Menace, the Green Tide. Here we have a basilicum, a holy relic, holy shrine hold that has been untouched. Humans and Xenos are not allowed to walk amongst its holiness for hundreds and hundreds of years. And but the sisters, because the orcs are here and they're going to be rampaging and murder, death, killing, the sisters have been sent to defend this holy basilicum and stop it being turned into flames and stop the boys from looting all the goodness inside. So we have some hastily erected barricades all over the place and some barricades down there. And then we have the wilds and the wastelands out here. Now, we don't know who's a decker or defender yet, so it could turn out that the orcs are already in there and the sisters need to take it back. Or it could be that the orcs are going to be rampaging from this table edge. We'll find out in a minute. And we welcome back to the channel for the first time in 2020, Mr. AP Byrne. Say hi, Mr. AP Byrne.
Hi, Mr. AP Byrne.
So last time you were here, we were fighting 27 Minutes campaign on the gateway world of Hannah's Farm.
I'm pretty sure I blew it up, didn't I?
There was big explosions happening, but we've gone back in time.
Of course.
This is happening while that was happening. You were coming. So I thought, let's go back to Hannah's Farm.
Yeah, so can I blow it up again?
No, what's happening is you've brought your sisters along, which is your, what is it, army?
Lockdown army.
Lockdown army.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave the house for 4 months. Best paint a lot of miniatures.
So you've been making a lockdown army of sisters. And it's all the new plastic beautiful sisters range.
Yeah. They were base coated and built for ages.
Right.
And I had no hobby mojo.
Okay.
And then the man told me I couldn't leave the house.
The man.
So I thought I'd best get painting. I got absolutely hooked and I've done nearly 3,000 points.
Nearly 3,000 points of sisters.
So this is just less than half of what
of new plastic sisters.
Of new plastic sisters.
Absolutely glorious. Well, at least you're taking your lockdown seriously.
Yeah, well, you know.
And doing the important things like painting a 40k army.
Yeah.
So this is only your second game of Warhammer 40k 9th edition, and it's a new army.
Yeah.
So we're playing a very simple mission, which is basically just kill each other. There is a point for Slay the Warlord, and at the end of the game, we add up all the power level of the stuff that you killed, divide by 10, and add that on top of Slay the Warlord if you get Slay the Warlord. And whoever's got more victory points wins. Is this one here? Open hostility, annihilation, just simply trying to beat the snot out of each other. A very good starting mission if you're trying to start a new army or if you're trying to learn a whole new gaming system.
To be honest, even if I've been playing the army for years and it wasn't a new gaming system, it's probably a good bet.
Because you were telling me about, yeah, that's true actually. You were telling me you got your miracle dice.
Yeah.
You've got the Order of Her Lady to remember.
Yeah.
You got Sacred Rites to remember. Yeah. There's loads of things to remember when it comes to sisters.
Yeah, and I've got a ton of CP to spend on stratagems, which I've never used, so I've got to remember those
stratagems,
as well.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to orcs as well, narratively speaking, we just want to beat the snot out of you. So you just have to defend the snot and beat the snot, burn the Xenos. We're not heretics, but sisters also, they're happy burning whatever they're burning.
I've brought a lot of flamey goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to burn some green snot.
So, I mean, clearly green snot don't worship the Emperor, so they must be burned.
Yeah, it's going to be an orc barbecue.
And you must defend this thingy-bob. So scenery-wise, what we have is some woods, so there'll be -1 if you shoot into them or through them, but not out of them. We've got some ruins, which will completely block line of sight. If you try and, you can fire into them and they'll light cover, but if you try and fire through them, they'll completely block line of sight. These rules kick in except if there is a vehicle or aircraft behind them and the vehicle has to have 18 wounds or more. And I have brought a Morkanaut, which has got 18 wounds or more. So you won't have -1 to hit my Morkanaut on the other side. And if there's a Morkanaut towering over these ruins here, then you can still shoot it.
Yeah.
But it does mean that my Morkanaut would not be able to shoot you on the other side. It's one of those curious things. You can have an Imperial Knight on one side, which you can still shoot at, but the Knight can't shoot at something on the other side. That's how the rules work. I guess, yeah, they're steaming, smoking part. Well, they're not steaming, smoking.
I was thinking of Arnie in Predator. They just
Right.
kind of put mud everywhere so the heat vision can't see the little infantry running around.
You one ugly son of a... Yeah. That's a classic movie. That's a real classic. You know,
Liam hasn't seen it.
I bet you Liam hasn't seen it now. I do like Predator. It's one of those movies that aged really well because I remember watching it at the time, and critical reviews of Predator at the time were actually quite poor, and box office takings were also quite poor. Did you know Jean-Claude Van Damme originally was the Predator, but he got sacked from the movie?
I didn't know that, but I can see
He
it.
was originally the Predator. He got sacked because they were running around in the jungles of Central America, and he was really hot in the suit, and he kept complaining, so they sacked him. But almost everyone on the movie at some point got ill. I think the director had his food flown in specifically because he refused to start eating. It was one of those nightmare shoots that you hear about.
Are you trying to tell me that Jean-Claude Van Damme shat himself in the Predator
He
season?
may have. And he was very upset that he didn't get to see his face at all because he signed up for this movie to be the Predator, and then no one knew. It goes down.
Probably an improvement though.
Anyway, over time, the Predator has become more widely received, and it's a great movie, and it's one of those bro movies.
Yeah, definitely.
That they don't make those kind of bro stupid movies anymore. But it ain't got time to bleed. It's brilliant though.
We need to play Imperial Guard versus Nids.
Catagens.
Yeah.
Jungle fighters versus.
I'm just going to go and build a new army. I'll be back in a
Okay.
minute.
Yeah, you bring.
Give me a week.
Well, interestingly enough, we're giving away the limited edition Catagen kernel thing to any DZTV subscriber who's still on DZTV by the end of August. And this figure apparently is going for a couple £100 on eBay.
Yeah.
And Liam won't give it to me, so we're giving it away. If I keep asking for it. So yes, we are going to beat the snot out of each other. Only, what was it called again?
Annihilation?
Annihilation. Add up all the victory points, divide by 10, plus 1 if you slay the warlord. We don't know who's the attacker, who's the defender. 1,500 points of orky goodness, of Murphy's Waagh. Unfortunately, Murphy is not with us here today, but Murphy lives. You know, like Vulcan lives? Murphy lives.
I don't buy it.
He lives
Where
in
is
the
he then?
psyche of all the... so we are now going to... Let's have a look at these armies. Right, this is 1499 of Orks. It is a medallion, which gives me 12 command points to play with, but I will spend a command point on making my weird boy a warp head, so he knows 2 psychic powers instead of 1 psychic powers. His weird boy will. Now warp head will. And I'm giving him Warpath and the Jump because they're both very good. We're led by Grugger Chugger, and Grugger Chugger is going to have the Might is Right Warlord trait and the Killer Claw. It gives him an extra strength and attack, and the Killer Claw is reroll all fair wounds. He hits on 2s anyway. So, because the Killer Claw isn't unwieldy, so he's hitting on 2, so I don't need reroll a hit. He's get extra attacks, reroll a wound. He's an absolute boss. He is Da War Boss. Oh, and we're going to be using Dak-offs. We are Goffs here. So as well as Daka, which means 6s explode in the shooting phase, you get Smacker, which means 6s explode in the fight phase as well. It keeps it nice and simple and very, very aggressive. I like it. I've got a big squad of 30 Slugger Chopper boys with a Power Claw. I've got a squad of, I think there's a squad of 11 and a squad of 10 Shooter Boys, Power Claws on the boss knobs in both because of points. And 2 squads of Gretchen running around all over the place. They're all my troops. The idea is the Shooter Boys go inside the trucks. So when I was writing this list, I started off with the Gorkanaut and the mech guns in the backfield, because I always bring looters, and nearly in every single Ork army you see looters, and I didn't want to bring looters again. So I thought, well, if I haven't got looters, I still need some kind of backfield Daka. So I've got 3 tractor cannons, 2 mech guns, and the Gorkanaut instead. And I don't think I'm going to put anything in the Gorkanaut. Actually, I might put my bosses in the Gorkanaut. So it's a very simple stripped down list. I like it. Loads of boys to swarm forward and trucks to swarm forward as well. With the jump on Weird Boy Will, I can teleport another unit forward as well. So I have got mobility. Meanwhile, there is some long range Dacker in the backfield and a big stompy thing stomping up and smashing stuff as well. So it's 1,500 points. Just need to kill stuff. We're pretty good at killing stuff. And if there's a fight, Orks win anyway, so I consider it a victory right now. Oh, I forgot to mention, my Orks are painted by Den of Imagination Painting Studios. They're the best painting studio in the Sol system. Absolutely glorious work here. These are custom bases as well that you can get from the custom resin bases that you can get from the Den of Imagination store. These are level 3 standard, and considering that there's like 7 levels you can pick from, well, you can just, level 3 is already glorious. So thank you very much, Den of Imagination. Love you guys. Right, this is just under 1,500 points worth of Sisters of Battle, and they are glorious. I want me some Sisters, Mr. AP Byrne.
Oh, they're so good. It's so fun to build and paint as well.
I'm an Imperial player at heart, and nothing screams 40k to me more than a bunch of religious fundamentalists in the grim dark future with bolt guns and energy weapons.
It's mental, isn't it?
This is 40k. There's actually 2 things that scream 40k to me. One is actually Mechanicum. Because that idea of cyborg, abominable intelligence, AI, sort of, you know, they don't want that thing. Instead, they've got these skull machines and servitors. That is, you don't get that in any other setting. The Mechanicum, the Admin, and this. You don't get this in any other kind of futuristic setting either.
I think the Exorcist might be the most bonkers 40k vehicle in existence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cathedral on wheels
with
that
missiles.
has a massive organ that fires missiles at the back of it.
And you got 2 of them.
Yeah, of course.
Because other sci-fi settings might have Tyranid-esque type stuff. Other sci-fi settings actually have got Chaos-esque type stuff. You've got Event Horizon, or other weird, warpy, you know, the Netherworld sorts. Yeah. But no other sci-fi setting has got a bunch of bolted nuns with guns screaming and burning their way through the stuff. It's so 40k. So it's a battalion. You've got 12 command points to play with.
I do.
Sisters have got a 6-up invulnerable save because they have faith.
Yes,
and
faith in the Emperor.
They can also deny the witch. All of the units can deny the witch, but they only get 1 dice.
Correct.
So you're denying lower level psychic powers because of their faith in the Emperor. They also get sacred rites, which is the prayer that they're chanting for this particular mission. It's the spells, it's like spells, but it's the prayers they cast and the dice and the rosaries they fingered before they decided to take... What sacred rite are you picking for this mission, sir?
We're going to go for divine guidance.
Okay.
So we can see the weak points in your armour,
right,
in your t-shirts.
Yes.
And the Sisters of Battle will strike out to shatter it with contemptuous ease. Basically, any unit in my army which has this sacred rite ability, which is all of them because they're all Adeptus Sororitas.
Yeah.
They, when resolving an attack made with ranged weapons, a wound roll of 6 will improve the AP by 1.
So 6 is to wound, AP -1.
Correct.
So basically all your bolt guns and all your storm bolters on 6 to wound will burn straight through my t-shirt, so I won't get any save.
That's the plan. But the number of green bodies that you've got, I think it will whittle down the herd.
Yeah,
give me a better chance of surviving.
I've got a 6-up t-shirt save, which is pretty crap. And then you've just taken it away completely on 6 to wound.
Yeah.
Because you've prayed. Okay, so you've got that as well as the 6-up invulnerable save. And then there's orders as well, which are like your Space Marine chapters. And you are the Order of Martyred Lady, which is actually this paint colour scheme, right?
Yes, it makes it slightly easier to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, and more narrative, of course.
So, because Sisters of Battle have miracle dice, which are like CP rerolls. We'll get into that as the mission goes on. But basically, if you kill anything or kill a character or pass it another witch test, you get like a miracle dice, which you can substitute in. And her Order of her Martyred Lady also gets miracle dice once a unit gets wiped out.
Yep.
So if I kill this unit, you get another miracle dice. Kill that unit, you get another miracle dice.
Yep.
And also something else that they have.
So in addition to that, when resolving an attack made with models without conviction, which again is everything, you add 1 to the hit roll if 1 or more models have been destroyed in that unit, even if they've been returned to the battlefield. So
normal Sisters have hit on 3s and punch stuff on 4s.
Yeah.
If I kill one thing in this unit, you're punching stuff on 3s and you're hitting on 2s.
Correct.
Hitting on 2s with shots. Hitting on 2s with shots. Hitting on 2s with shots so long as one model's dead.
Yep.
Basically, they get angrier and more religious and more... So you could potentially be hitting on 2s here, and wounds on 6s are AP -1. With Miracle Dice, if I wipe the unit out, you've got lots and lots of rules to remember. This is a new army, and now you can see why we've decided to stick with just kill each other.
I mean, it is me, so it wouldn't be a battle report with me and if I didn't get some rules wrong.
Right.
So that's my disclaimer right at the start.
And it also wouldn't be a battle report with you if you hadn't confused the crap out of yourself before we even begin by bringing, hey, let's bring a brand new army.
I'm not confused.
Okay.
I'm admitting my defeat before we even start.
So what are these two lovely ladies here?
They're both Canoness.
Canoness.
So
what's that? They're like captain's reroll kit rolls.
yeah. There's no real lieutenant in this type model in the Sisters Army, although one's just been announced, but the model's not out yet.
Okay.
So it's two Canoness.
Yes.
So basically double captain. One with a chainsword and a Condemner anti-psycho bolt gun.
Okay.
And one with the Blessed Blade and just a standard bolt gun. So yeah, the one with the chainsword and the Condemner bolt gun at the front is the Warlord.
The one with the crossbow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the Shield Bearer Warlord trait with her, which will be add 1 to a wounds characteristic and improve the save characteristic to a maximum of 2 up.
Another rule to remember.
Yeah, but it's easy to remember, and I think given the mission and the fact that Slay the Warlord is a thing,
yes,
it might come in quite handy.
Okay. Cool, so those are the two things. Then we've got 2 squads of 9 Battle Sisters because of points, you said.
Yep.
And there's a Storm Bolter and a Heavy Bolter in each. And what's this banner thing that they're carrying around?
The Simulacrum. Basically, it allows me to perform an additional act of faith for a unit with one of those, even if that unit has already performed one.
What's an act of faith?
It's basically when I substitute a dice for a miracle dice.
So, Miracle Dice in this unit, which is like, hey, my result is automatically a 3, or hey, my result is automatically a 1 for morale, for example.
Exactly.
And then you could do it twice because you've got a box of hallowed bones that you're carrying around with you.
Yeah, so for example, if I wanted to have more hits or wounds, and I'd use the Miracle Dice to make sure I kill off a unit.
So it could be the
then
bones.
I could also use another act of faith later to stop them running away from morale.
Okay. So inside that box there could be the bones of St. Gavin, for example.
Indeed.
Okay. Right, and then 2 units of 5 to go inside the immolators, because immolators only have a transport capacity of... Oh no, 2 units of 6.
Yes, but
they only have a
for that very
transport
reason. Yeah.
capacity of 6. And they've got the long-range Flamers of Doom.
They do on the immolators.
Exodus we talked about, you paid for the special missiles of Rhino. These are the mortifiers.
Yes, mortifiers, and one of them is the one with the proper coffin is the Anchorite, which is basically slightly tougher and faster and stronger and more brilliant. Think of it like a sergeant.
Okay.
But strapped into a big walking machine of death.
Yeah. Well, they're paying for their penance.
They are indeed.
And they're strapped in and they're thrown forward at the enemy, flailing away with a crazy number of attacks.
Yeah, with the penitent flails.
Until they die.
Yeah.
Penitent flails is bonkers number of attacks. I do like these things.
They are so 40k again, aren't they?
You need about 9 of them as well. Well, they're also good for rules. The rules on them is quite...
I do have more, but in a 1500 point list, we're just going with the 2.
Yeah. And then Repentia.
Yeah, we've got a squad of 8 with the Repentia Superior, all in a Rhino.
Yeah. And they're crazy ladies with a 6-up invulnerable save, but no armour, because, you know, they're just coated in holy scriptures. Don't they have a 5-up feel no pain or something?
They do, the Zealot rule, and also that means that if they've been charged, they can re-roll failed hits as well.
Yeah, Zealot, so they reroll failed hits, and I think there's a strat so they can fight twice or something.
Yeah, all kinds of good gubbins. They're essentially, I know they don't look at it, but they're really good anti-tank. They can just slice.
Are they?
Yeah, they can slice through them en masse.
Just throw them at something and stand back and try not to get hit by their chainswords as they whirl in. So this lady at the back is trying to whip them forward and keep them...
Yeah, she basically gives them a few buffs, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but when I've got the data sheet in front of me, I will.
Repent for your sins. These girls or men repenting for their sins. And then the order of her martyred lady stepping forward because Sebastian Thor decreed after the reign of blood that no man in the ecclesiarchy should ever bear arms again. So the ecclesiarchy being the ecclesiarchy, well, if no man is never allowed to bear a weapon, surely we can give it to lots of women instead. And that was the 36th millennium. And now here we are 4,000 years later. Here we are after deployment. We don't know who's going first yet. We're going to roll off to see who goes first. And but you won the roll off for Thingy Bob, so you decided to deploy down here and defend the Holy Basilica, which hasn't been touched by human hands for hundreds of years. But now, unfortunately, you're moving in. There's going to be lots of purification after this fight to re-purify this holy site. Mind you, the whole planet of Hannah's Farm is getting attacked by Murphy's Waagh. So you might have to purify the whole planet. We shall see. I've deployed down here. I put a big squad at the back, actually, because Sisters of Battle armies, minus the Exorcists, Sisters armies tend to be a very powerful mid-range army. I've fought them a few times, and that's always been the case throughout all the editions, I think. They tend to, they've got heavy bolters and things like that, but they're a very powerful mid-range army. There's some long-range firepower, a bit like Necrons as well. Necrons have some long-range firepower, but they mainly shine in the mid-range. So I put my big squad of 30 boys back here, so I'm not getting lit up in turn one with the grot shields in front, ready to jump them. Don't necessarily need to jump them in the backfield. I need to jump them somewhere along here, but I don't want to get them lit up first. See, so they're back there with Weird Boy Will ready to do the teleportations. And the mech guns, you deploy them within 6 inches of each other at the start of the mission, and then they count as separate units. That's one big unit, but they count separate. Shoot Boy's in there. Grugger Chugger's inside that. He's the only thing inside it. So if I roll a 1 when it blows up, you can't command point re-roll that. He could potentially die, but he is a... Look, Slay the Warlord is an extra point in this game, but I'm an Orc. So I'm going forward, and he's inside the biggest, stompiest thing.
You're going to have to blow it up.
Perfect, so you're going to have to blow it up.
If only I had some long-range missiles with lots of damage.
Yeah, well, your long-range missiles with lots of damages are back there, and you put a Canoness. Where's the Canoness?
Canoness is hiding in the ruins.
Is she?
To also deny deep strike in the backfield there.
Okay.
But yeah, she'll give the rerolls.
And she could be lighting candles and sensors inside that ruin back there as well, and she's happy to be there, like in this... she's in this holy place and she's really happy to be there.
The acoustics are just so good in those ruins that she's just really enjoying her chanting.
And telling the organs where to fire their fire. We've got a sister squad in this immolator, a sister squad in this immolator, 2 squads on foot. There's the screaming penitent engines and the screaming ladies with all the chainsaws that are in the rhino round there.
There indeed, along with the superior and another canoness.
So you're using this large, because that completely blocks line of sight off there, because it is a ruin over 5 inches tall. This stuff doesn't count as difficult ground for you. However, we're saying this little bit on the edge is a wood, and will count as difficult ground, so -2 moving through. Should also mention while we're here, that this glorious terrain comes from foregroundpublishing.co.uk. And if you're a patron and in the Discord, then you can get money off foregroundpublishing.co.uk. If you're in DZTV anyway, there's links in all the DZTV videos to get into the Discord for free in the general chats, and I think you have money off if you're in the general thing anyway. So, but foregroundpublishing.co.uk, lovely terrain here. Battle map from gamemat.eu, which is also money off in the Discord for that as well. If you'd like some more videos from me, from us, if you'd like to see the 27 minutes campaign, that is available on deploymentzone.tv.
It was really good.
And it was really good. I had great fun on that one. And, well, particularly because you brought, amongst other things, amongst the Death Watch, you brought the Scopum Space Marine chapter.
Indeed.
And there's some characters in it like Captain Winters and...
He's right
I know he's
watching.
And Lieutenant Liam and
Lieutenant Liam's been demoted to Sergeant now just because he was a bit rubbish in that campaign.
Brilliant. Brom was doing really well.
He's been promoted to Lieutenant.
Goddamn hero. So yeah, loads of campaigns there. I'm currently filming Saga of the Red Frost 2, actually. Orc Apocalypse. Guess what's in it?
Nids.
Yeah. They're definitely Nids in the Orc Apocalypse. So that's going to be coming to DZTV quite soon as well. We're looking forward to that one. Anyway, 1,500 points of annihilation. We need to grab dice to see who goes first. I have green.
I have red.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Stop it. I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Stop it, I said. I rolled a 2 again. 3 2s in a row.
Yay!
Right, you can choose whether you want to go first or second. Here we are after the sisters' movement phase. The rhino advancing forward and popping smoke, but everything else just moving forward cautiously. That's the second in command in there with the Repentia. The warlord, the extra VP, is the one back here, lighting burners and candles and incense and commanding the firepower from the backfield. There are gaps for the jumping over here, but that would be -2 to go over the barricade. You have left a gap there as well, but it's not big enough to put 30 boys.
No, I did some fastidious measuring to make sure that wasn't going to happen.
So the two on foot are hoofing forward, and you basically, we need to kill each other, so you need to get your medium range guns in range. You've gained a command point.
I have.
You've gained a miracle dice.
I have.
Now you just need to shoot some guns. Yeah. Start off with the immolator, firing a heavy bolter into the Morkanaut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why
3s
not?
to hit. And 5s to wound. I am toughness 8. You get a wound. And -1, I need a 4. You chip the first wound off.
Yay.
Then the second immolator is firing at the truck.
Yeah.
3s to hit. And 5s to wound.
Wounds.
And that's -1. I need to make a 5. I make a 5.
Damn it.
Now the mortar fires. That's 12 heavy bolter shots coming in at the truck. The glorious thing about 9th edition is as soon as these move, they were hitting on 4s, but they don't have the infantry keyword. They're heavy, so they're hitting on 3s against this truck.
Yeah, they are.
It's suddenly got a lot better. So 3s to hit the truck, and I do like the fact that you have classic red deployment zone.tv dice. These dice are no longer available. They're quite rare. We've got all the pearl goody ones now.
Well, I have those too.
Pearl blue,
I'm a completionist.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you got all the colours? Have you
No.
got to catch them all?
Just red.
But yeah, they're going to be relics. They are, yeah.
Yeah, and they statistically roll more 2s than the pearl ones.
Do they?
In my experience.
5s to wound the truck. Is that just 2?
Yeah, that's just 2.
You didn't roll any 2s.
No, but averages out.
5s. Okay, 2 wounds off the truck. Yeah, so all the dice available on the deployment zone.tv merchandise page, except for the classic red ones, which are going to be relics and only the old school people have. We might get them back in at some point. Right, what are we doing next?
Maybe I'll give this one away.
Can I have it?
That's a kind of gift.
Right. Yeah, where are we going?
I'm going to fire this squad.
There's a heavy bolter.
There is a heavy bolter.
Right.
All the normal gubbins, I don't think it is in range.
It suddenly occurred to me that we've got that -1 if you get the 6s to wound thing. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that.
But I think...
I haven't rolled any 6s.
Okay, all right then.
I haven't rolled any 6s, full stop.
Okay. Heavy bolter hitting on 4s, coming in at the Morkanaut. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. That was almost a 6.
It was.
4 up safe.
There's a 6.
I make the save. Right, sister squad in the ruin. Because you're in the ruin, you can fire through it. You're firing at the squad. And there's 2 bolters and the storm bolter in range.
Yep.
And the heavy bolter. So we're doing the bolters and the storm bolter first,
Yes,
which
please.
is 3s to hit.
Cool.
And 5s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds, 2 4-up saves. See, I am within 3 inches of a barricade there.
Mm-hmm.
But only infantry, beasts and swarms gain the benefit of that obstacle. So it's still just 4s. And I fail one of them. The truck's down to 7 wounds left. And then you've got a heavy bolter.
Indeed.
Which is 4s to hit because it's heavy. We have 2 hits and 5s to wound. No wounds. So 7 wounds on the truck, 17 wounds left on the Morkanaut, and all you've got left now in range is the 2 exorcists as the rest of the army pushes forward. So decisions, Mr. AP Byrne. Shoot the big one or shoot the truck.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the first exorcist into the big one
and see how it
and
goes.
see how it goes. and then make a call.
So shooting at the big one with an exorcist launcher, heavy 3d3, and you're spending a CP on devastating.
Devastating refrain.
Okay, so you can re-roll these dice if you need to.
Yeah.
So this is the number of shots, and you can re-roll any or all of those dice because you're CP.
Keep those, but re-roll that one.
Right, okay. It didn't help. 6 shots hitting on 3s, and it's re-roll the 1s because of your thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that's 5 hits. Now it's strength 8 versus toughness 8. Good luck, sir.
Here we go.
Come on, boy.
Look at those 2s.
You can re-roll, or do you want to keep it for the damage? That's 2 through so far.
Yeah, I'll keep it for the damage. I've got another exorcist.
Okay. I have a custom force field on that thing. I have a 5-up invulnerable save. And it helped! Look at that! It's like I'm rolling disgustingly resilient or something.
Can I make you re-roll that with us? That'd be great.
Mr. AP Byrne,
Yeah.
what are you doing with the other one then?
I'm going to put it into the truck.
You're not going to fire a big one?
Well, I'm so scared of failure.
You want to blow something up in this turn.
I've not played
Okay.
Void K for ages.
3d3 shots into truck. This is number of shots. 7. You got an extra shot this time.
Nice.
That would have been more helpful if you had shot.
Yeah, it would have.
Okay, so 3's to hit.
It's like you're narrating or something.
Reroll the ones.
Yeah,
That's it.
good.
An impressive.
It's a full house.
Yeah, I know. 3's to hit wound the truck. Come on, boy. No.
No.
And it's AP -3, right?
It's AP -3.
I don't get any saves, mate.
Boom.
So it's 4d6 damage on the truck.
Want me to just roll them all?
Do them all because I will have ramshackle. So that's enough to kill it.
10.
Unless I roll, because that's 1. Yeah. If I roll a 6, that 4 becomes a 1. If I roll a 6, that 4 becomes a 1. Do you want a command point reroll any of that damage?
No, come on.
No?
Let's just do it.
So, ramshackle. There's a 6.
Oh.
That turns into a 1. So instead you did 5 damage. You blew off bits I don't need. A 1, 1 and a 4. Sorry, what's a 1, 1 and a 4?
1, 1 and a 4 is 6.
6 damage.
So it's got 1 left.
It's got 1 wound left. Missiles rain down around it. It falls and shakes apart, but it's still there.
We can't do maths.
No, 1, 1 and a... That's a 7.
That's a 7. That's
a
exactly
7.
as much as I
Yes,
need.
no, yeah. Okay, maths. Does it blow up? It doesn't blow up. There's 11 dudes in that truck. Green, angry dudes. And 3 of them die in the explosion. And they get out. And I take the truck away. The lovely Forge World truck. And then you're out of charge range because it's -2 because of the barricade. So I think that's the end of your turn.
It is indeed.
So then they take a morale test. Leadership 7. 3 plus the 3 that died is 6. They will hold. That is the end of Sisters turn 1. And we add up all the power of stuff at the end, divide by 10, and that's the number of VPs. And the truck is 1 minute. 3 power, Mr. AP Bird. So that's 0.3 of a point. You have scored first blood.
Could still be a personal best.
Yeah, let's go on to Orks turn 1. Here we are after the Orks movement phase. That took longer than I would have liked because I was thinking I could go all the way right or I could go all the way left. And I've got to kill as much as possible, but also not get killed. I decided to go both ways. Truck's going this way, it advanced, and Gorkanaut moving that way, and that's it, which is curious that it took me so long to figure out what I was doing. But I think the plan is to start smashing stuff over there, and the plan is to do things with these guys as well, with the Orks down here. So to do things with them, I'm going to cast Warpath on them. Which does pass because of the green energy tide, the pluses to the dice roll. And the other thing is the jump, I need a 7. And then again, I add another 3 because of the number of Orc boys. So that becomes a 9, so the jump works as well. And they will disappear in a puff of green smoke. And reappear on this side of the battle grid. Now it will be an 11-inch charge to get that exorcist because this is difficult ground, -2. But you've got to give it a go, haven't you? You've got to give it a go.
It's Orcs, isn't it?
So before they go charging in, they'll shoot all their pistols in that general direction. And it made lots of loud noises. Strength 4 versus toughness 8. I got 2 wounds through, which you made the saves on. But at least it made lots of loud noises, so that shot's happened.
They're just getting excited. They're ready.
Yeah, over here, this advanced. So there was a big shooter which shot out, and that didn't do anything either. We're on to... I could shoot these... Let's shoot him. And I'm going to spend 2 CP on a strat called More Daka, which means the Daka explodes on 5s and 6s instead of just 6s, because I'm shooting into that. First, we have the custom Mega Blaster there, and that explodes, which is a More Daka, and that misses. And then the custom Mega Zapper, the big Gun of Doom, has 3d3 shots. 5 shots, it would be -1 to hit because of the smoke, but I'm just exploding on 5s. So that explodes. That does a mortal wound to me. And so I get 3 hits in the end, and I'm doing all these together because it's strength 8 -3, d6 damage. So these will wound you on 3s. And I'm going to command... No, I'm not going to command point that. 2 wounds at -3, sir. 2 6-up saves. The Emperor protects. It's got 2 rockets as well. One of them hits and more Daka. Just one of them hits, strength 8. It doesn't wound. 2 twin big shooters. Daka, 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 Daka. 5's to wound. A wound. 3-up save.
Oh,
I did a wound with the little guns.
amazing.
Now what was supposed to happen was it was supposed to be dead, and so then I go charging in and kill all the girls with the chainswords on the inside, because I really don't want them charging me, because they will rip that Gorgonaut apart if they charge me. So I was going to kill it and then shoot some of the mech guns elsewhere, because you have a lot of armour. But I need to charge them. So I can't shoot. I have to shoot the rest of the mech guns there.
Yeah, you do.
So tractor cannons. Let's do them all at the same time because they auto hit. So they hit. It's just a case of wounding you.
Yeah.
They're strength 8, your toughness 7. I need 3s to wound. I wound you all 3 times. They're AP -2.
Okay.
You need to make 3 5-up saves on your Rhino, sir. Don't roll a bunch of 6s again. You roll 2 6s again. What happened this last turn? Your dice rolling was appalling, and this turn, all of a sudden, it's glorious.
It's like getting back into it, isn't it? It's like stretching.
The Emperor protects. What do you mean? Stretch those glutes out.
Yeah, stretch before exercise. It's
Yeah.
like give them a couple of practice rolls and it's good to go.
D6 damage. Command point. 2. 2 damage. 7 left. The amount of firepower. Right, okay. Custom mega cannon. D6 shots. 6s. Okay, the other custom mega cannon. Shooting at it. D6 shots. 6! I get 6 shots. One of these is going to hit. 7 left, right?
Only one of them.
7. Well, then I get Daka, Daka, Daka. Maybe 2 will hit. 6s. I get a 6, so that's a hit, which generates another hit, maybe. I get 1 hit. Okay, 1 hit with a Daka, 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 Daka.
You got this.
Strength 8. It wounds. -3. A 6 up. Don't roll another 6. Please don't roll it. Okay.
Oh, I saw it.
D6 damage. That's really cool.
Are you sure?
From my angle, it looked like a 3 or a 6. For 4, it's on 3 left. I'm worried now. Shooters. I was going to shoot the shooters into them. Let's shoot this. Actually, what I was going to do was shoot a couple of them away first with the shooters before a charge. So now I'm going to have to try and kill it with just shooters. So let's do that. Let's try and plink a couple more wounds off. 6s and then Daka. With Daka I got 6 hits. 5s to wound. I got 3 wounds. You've got 3 wounds left. If you could fail every single save, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
You don't fail any. Right, that is the end of my shooting phase. It was almost as bad as your shooting phase. So now I'm going to charge. I'm going to declare a charge with these boys into that. Would you like to Overwatch?
No, I'm good, thanks.
It's -2 because of the thing. And they definitely get in. So that 12-inch charge became a 10-inch charge, and that could have potentially saved my bacon there, Mr. AP Burn. The reason why is I put them on this side, because now he charges in, and it goes that far, and then that. So what happens now is, you see, is I'm going to do some piling in and some measuring and some shenanigans in a minute, but it gives you a very narrow window with which to deploy your ladies, assuming that I break open that Rhino.
I mean, you should do.
So
if you
you
don't,
should,
you're having a very bad day.
because they have to be deployed wholly within 3. But you could spend 2 CP, I think it might be 1 CP on that emergency disembarkation strat, which means you can deploy them wholly within 6, but then you lose models on a 1-2. So that that might help. Right, over here. Do you want the fire Overwatch?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. It's funny.
Okay, 3d6. Is there a different type of missile that you can fire?
No. It's basically the Axis missile launcher. If I was using conflagration rockets, then they're probably better.
Have you got conflagration rockets?
Not in these.
No.
That would be a different loadout.
Okay, so 3d3 number of shots. 6 shots hitting on 6s because of Overwatch. Rerolling 1s. Yeah, okay, 1 hit, and you'll absolutely annihilate an orc on a 2. What was that? Is that a 1? That's a 1. Heavy bolter. How could you miss, Guy? There's just a swarm of them. Reroll the one. Reroll the one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There's
6.
How? But there's like and they appeared. Okay, right. 11-inch charge because of the -2 difficult ground. And I can re-roll any or all of the dice with here we go. So let's re-roll both of them. And I want to shut that down. Charge, lads. So close. And yet so far. They failed the charge. Right, let's go back over here and fight. So we'll start with the boys. They're piled in. And let's open up this can. Can opener. Smacky, smacky, smacky. So 6s explode because of Goths. 3 additional attacks. They're going to need 5s. And I get 3 5s. 3 up saves.
Oh,
I didn't even need the claw. The rhino is dead. Don't blow up, please.
you know I'm good at rolling 6s.
You don't blow up. And how many are inside?
We've got 8 Repentia,
And a
Repentia
Canoness?
Superior, and Canoness.
All right, so 10 models. So 10 models inside. You are paying ACP for emergency disembarkation because otherwise fitting 10 guys wholly within 3, you're going to lose a chunk of models anyway.
Yeah.
But so now you can put them wholly within 6, but on 1s and 2s you lose models. So good luck.
I'm quite nervous about it.
Yeah.
Could backfire all.
You rolled a lot of 2s earlier. And now you only roll 2?
2.
You don't even roll any 1s. So only lose 2 models.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. And a mob of screaming ladies with chainswords pile out of the back of the rhino as the orcs break it open, and I will not pile in or consolidate in with my Gorkanaut. Wait a turn for that one. That is the end of Orcs turn 1. I did a bit more damage to you than you did to me, but not enough. We are now closer to each other. The ladies now have some choice targets that they can set on fire. So let's find out what they do.
Burn.
In turn 2. Mr. AP Burn,
Yes, sir.
do you want a knobbly bobbly?
I'll always take you up on your knobbly bobbly.
Okay. I love a knobbly bobbly. Do you like no, it's lovely ice cream. Do you like a knobbly bobbly in your mouth?
I do love a knobbly bobbly in my mouth. I particularly like the nobbles and the bobbles. And the pink bit at the end's not bad either.
Here we are after the movement phase for the Order of Her Martyred Lady. You've decided to keep the Exorcists still at the back because they have a commanding field of fire. But their sisters disembarked from this immolator before it moved round to deal with this squad of boys that jumped back there. I think they're about to be lit on fire. And then over here, all very simple. Everything, the sisters, the Rebecca, everything's now circling around the boys and the big red stompy thing. Right, where are we going to start the shooting phase, sir?
We're just going to fire the immolator straight into the back passage of that.
We'll set it on fire.
Yeah.
2d6 auto hits with your Flames of Doom.
Yeah. Here we go.
7 hits, 5s to wound. And 6s are AP -2. So 2 4s and a 5. You take a wound off. Then the heavy bolter from the immolator bounced. Now we have 12 heavy bolter shots from these mortar fires.
Yeah.
Into the boys right in front of them. 3s to hit. And because I have t-shirts, 3s to kill.
That many
6 killed. And it looks like this. And then the sister squad, you put the 3 at the back couldn't see, so they fired up at the Gorkanaut and didn't damage it. And these 3 at the front with the storm bolters and bolter guns are now firing at the boys right in front of you.
Yeah.
You've got 12 shots in total,
Here
hitting on 3s and winning on 4s. And 6s are AP -2 because I am in light cover right now. So that'll burn, well, AP -1, so that's a 6 because of the light cover. And the other 3 are 5s. They're dead. You've gained another miracle dice for that quick kill. These are your miracle dice at the moment. So the 1 is really handy actually for leadership.
Yeah.
6 is really handy for number of shots, for example. And essentially miracle dice work. You could substitute these in at any time. You haven't substituted any in yet.
No, well, I've had really low dice.
Until you just rolled this 6 for killing a squad.
So for now, I was kind of saving them for morale or things like that. And,
Yep.
it hasn't come into effect yet. So now I'll stop burning through them, I think.
Then we carried on with the shooting phase. Everything else that could fire at the Gorkanaut here has fired at the Gorkanaut here, mainly wounding on 6s. It's down to 14 wounds left. So that's this chunk of firepower ricocheting in off its steel hide. Now we're coming down here. The Immolator is firing at the big swarm of Orks. You're using your first miracle dice?
Yeah, I'm going to use that 6 that I rolled at just now.
Yep.
And I'm going to use that for one of my d6.
Cool, because it's 2d6 auto hits.
Yep.
And then here's the other one.
Oh, nice.
12 auto
it.
hits. The Orks are on fire.
They will be.
We don't need no water, let them. 3s to wound, 6s are AP -2. There aren't any 6. Oh, there's a couple of 6s. The reason why that's important is because of the +1, because I'm within 3 inches of that obstacle. So 2 Orks die, and then I have 6 up saves on the other. No, 8 Orks die. Then the heavy bolter hits every time. 3s to wound. 2 wounds at -1, so 6s because of the trick. No, 2 more die. That Immolator's killed 10 of them.
Excellent work.
Nasty. And now we have the sisters unloading into them as well. Bolters and storm bolters firing on 3s and 4s to wound. There's another couple of 6s. So I'll get 5 up saves on them, 6 up saves on them, right?
Yep. 4 each.
There's my 6s. And here's my 5s. So 14 boys. 14 boys have died. That's 16 left there. My leadership is currently 16. And we have the Immolators. Not the Immolators. Exorcists. The organ grinders of doom to fire. Right, you're thinking the ladies with the chainsaws over there are going to be okay ripping that thing open.
I hope so. I mean, maybe not.
And you're still worried about the number of Orks here plus my morale. I could still pass.
Yeah. It's worth thinning the herd down.
So you're going to fire...
There's another truck on its way around here. So...
Yes, there is, yes. So you're going to fire one of the Exorcists into the boys.
Yeah.
And it's a blast weapon.
It is.
So instead of 3d3 number of shots, because contains more than 11 models, 11 or more, that's automatic max number of hits.
Yeah.
So instead of 3d3, that's 333. So 9 shots come raining down from the skies into the boys, hitting on 3s. Missiles from above, re-rolling 1s, because your Canoness is hemming away. And you will absolutely obliterate them on 2s. We should have actually rolled 9 on the Overwatch when we did the Overwatch thing.
Yeah, but live and learn, don't you?
2 to kill. Right, you kill 7 of them, and then 6 of them, and then there's a heavy bolter firing in as well. And that hits all 3 times. Those are AP -2, so I don't get a save on, and that one I save. Suddenly there's a lot less Orks.
Makes me happy.
What are you doing with the other one?
We're going to put the heavy bolter into the boys, and
Okay.
we're going to put the missiles into the Morgnaut, and we'll use deadly refrain as well.
Okay, so 3 shots with the heavy bolters into the boys, re-rolling the 1s, and then 3s to wound. I'm not in range of the barricade anymore, so that's 3 more dead. 5 left. You killed 25 Ork boys.
That's not bad, is it?
I think they might fail their morale.
I'm certainly hope so.
And then deadly refrain, 3d3 shots at the Gorkanaut, which you can re-roll because of the strat.
Yeah, we'll
re-roll them.
Re-roll those. That's
Wow.
good.
Okay, so that's much better than the last time. That's 8 shots. 3s. Hallowed missiles hurtling through the sky. Everything hits!
Oh, now we're talking.
Strength 8, toughness 8.
4s?
4? 3. Just 3.
4.
4. 5 up and vulnerable saves. I fail every single one.
D6.
That's 4d6 damage.
Oh, have that.
15 damage. I have 14 wounds left. You kill the Gorkanaut,
Have that.
which explodes.
Oh, no.
Considering the amount of firepower that just rained through its shields there, that seems fitting to me. So 9-inch explosion does d6 damage.
Great.
Big, bada boom.
There goes my army.
So they're in range.
Yeah.
You lose 5 from that squad.
Great.
5 mortal wounds. Do you save mortal wounds on give a 6 up, feel no pain?
It's a 6 up invulnerable save, not feel no pain.
Isn't it?
The Repentia do have a feel no pain.
On these girls, it's just 2 on them. The Immolator, it's 5 on that. Is that another sister squad around the corner there?
Sister squad here, yeah.
It's 4 on that. Can I add this up? It's like 10. That's 16 wounds so far I've done to your army. Is there your second in command there, the Canoness?
Yeah.
How many wounds has she got?
I'm going to say 5, but I could well be wrong.
That's one mortal wound. She's still
I
alive.
can live with that. I can live with that.
Is the one with the whip that's charging the Repenter for part of that squad or a separate unit?
It's a separate unit.
Is she?
Yeah, Repentia Superior.
She takes 5 mortal wounds.
She's dead.
And then the Repentia themselves, you've got 6 left, right?
Yeah.
5 of them die as well. Hornet Repenter, sell it. They have a 5-up feel no pain, so you might be able to dodge some of this. Shrapnel.
Oh,
You dodged 2 of them.
that's not bad.
5 wounds there, 3 wounds there. The one whipping them forward gone. She's lost a wound. 4 off of that one. 5 off of that one. 2 off of here. And Grugger Chugger on a 1. He dies as well. And that's Slay the Warlord. So the biggest explosions of explosions ever. You blow up my Gorkanor, massive damage all around. That's the end of your turn. There's no charges coming on unless you want to charge over here into the power claw.
No, because they're going to run away anyway.
Okay, so morale. The way it works is you go, I go, you go, I go now.
Yeah.
So I'll roll my morale. I roll a d6. I think I failed. So one of them all automatically runs away. And then I've got 4 dice roll. Now combat attrition kicks in. So normally on 1s you would lose, but it's 1s, 2s because they're less than half strength. So I lose 2 more. And that's all I have left from a 30-man blob. But back over here, you lost 5 in that squad and 4 in that squad.
Yeah.
But you have Act of Faith's dice, miracle dice that you can use, or you can just roll them around. What are you
And I
doing?
can use an Act of Faith dice for each unit.
Right.
So I'm going to use a 1 for that unit.
So they pass.
And I'm going to use a 2 for the other one.
So they pass. And
And
what
then
about
a
them?
2 for the Repentia so that they pass as well.
Okay. So you pass morale with your miracle dice.
Yes.
There was
I told you I was saving them up for a reason.
There was a miracle explosion which blew. Okay. And the sisters hold firm. However, that was significant. There's not. I mean, that's empty now, right?
No.
There's still
That
girls.
one's empty. There's still a squad in there.
Okay. So there's still a squad in there. You're whittled down at least. What I've got left is some stuff and things. But there's also a 3 CP stratagem called Unstoppable Green Tide.
Sounds
and
like
I can
cheating to me.
recycle a unit of boys. So there turns out in turn 2, there's going to be another unit of Orc boys that come charging on the battle grid in Orks. Turn 2. Okay, so not a lot moved because I don't have much left. The truck has banked a back round here, and that's about it. And then at the end of the movement phase, Unstoppable Green Tide, I've recycled this unit back onto the battle grid for 3 CP. And now we're in the psychic phase. Let's put Warpath on them, and that will pass because I get the +1 because of all the dudes.
Yeah.
And now I need to jump them again, and that will pass. It's +3 to that, and we're going to teleport over there now. There's more of a gap. 1 minute. The Immolator has Shield of Faith, which means you can attempt to deny the witch. And there's a stratagem that you're burning called what now?
It's called
Purity of Faith?
Purity of Faith. Let's
Something
just say
to do
that.
with faith. You're in deny range of Weird Boy Will.
I'm gonna.
So you spend a CP, and on a 4-up.
Well, that was my deny the witch test because I have to make it.
Right.
So even though I've failed.
Right.
So then I make another d6 roll, and on a 4-up,
Yes.
your power doesn't manifest.
Okay.
Oh God.
So it does manifest.
It does manifest.
It manifests.
It manifests big time.
Okay. Right, okay. And so this new squad that come running on is warpathed up and then gets teleported to this side of the battle grid more than 9 inches away from her and them and the exorcist, and they just managed to fit in there. And now we're going on to the shooting phase, and I'm not going to shoot them because I don't want my shots to become even further away. But there are 21 shots of boys in here firing at these dudes, hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s. But the shoot's fired, truck fired, and I've chipped it all the way down to 1 wound. Now we're onto this tractor gun, firing at the Immolator. I will hit you automatically. I need to wound you on a 3. I wound you. -2 on the flamey church organ of doom.
Just 1 wound.
Yes.
Go through.
D6 damage for 4 damage. It's on 1 left. Interesting. Let's fire the next tractor of doom into it. Hits. Wounds. 5-up save.
Ah, no.
And it's dead, because that's D6.
Yeah.
So does it go kablooey? because it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Of
Losing
How many-
like 75% of my army to explosion.
Yeah. 6 inside, 6 ladies inside
Yeah.
need to stop, drop, and roll as the flaming tanks go up around them. And they all manage to
They're all
orderly
good.
disembark. Last tractor cannon. Fire at that thing. And doesn't wound, interestingly enough.
Excellent.
So D6 shots from this one into it. Number of shots is 2 shots. I need 5s to hit. And Daka. Grots don't have the clan cultures, but they still have Daka. So I get... Oh, and the 1 does a mortal wound back to me. And these will wound on 3s. I wound every single time, and it's AP -3.
Okay.
So I think that one's dead.
It is
because that's a
definitely
4
dead.
up
It's a 4 up
save.
save.
And then the other ones have 6 up saves. 2 6 up saves on the other one.
I do have 6 up invulnerable save.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So 6 up invulnerable save on the first. Oh.
So
Oh.
close.
Okay, so the D6 will kill that one, and
Yeah.
then 2 D6 on the other one. 7. I think they're both
They
dead.
are both dead.
Been a brutal turn, but it's not all over. There's 6 ladies have just appeared in front of me here. So now the last gun. Do I decide to put it into ladies, or do I fire it up there at one of them? I think I'll fire at the ladies. I mean, they're right there. So D6 shots for 3 shots. I hit on 5s and more Daka. So only 2 hits. I will wound them on 2s. Wound them twice, AP -3.
6 ups. Save 1 dead.
And that is the end of the shooting phase. So now we're on to the charge phase with this big swarm of boys over here. It suddenly occurs to me that if I select them as a target of my charge, it's going to be -2 because they are wholly in that terrain piece and that's difficult ground.
Mm-hmm.
Ruins, however, are not difficult ground. So that's 9 to them and 9 to the Exorcist.
Yeah.
So I'll declare only the Exorcist and them as the target of the charge. Would you like to overwatch?
Yes, I'm going to play a CP to Overwatch.
Nice. We remembered the max number of shots this time and 3 boys died. Now I need to make a 9-inch charge, which I can re-roll. And I'm in. And this is where we end up after the charge phase. Who says daisy chaining isn't a thing in 9th edition? Lots of boys swarming over this squad of sisters here. And I don't really intend to kill the thingy bob, but just either make you shoot in combat with a heavy gun or make you fall out. That's and then you can flame them with all the other dudes. But let's try and kill this squad of sisters. Right, I smacked the tank, did no damage, it's toughness 8. Back over here, I've got 8 guys in attack, plus the guy with the claw. He has 3 attacks, plus 1 attack because of the size of the orc mob. When there's more boys around, they fight harder. 4's to hit with his claw, and there's a smacker, because it's unmodified, it hit rolls. So that's... So hit you 4 times, I'm strength 10. I only wound you twice. 6 up invulnerable saves, or 6 up armor saves. One of the ladies gets dragged down. Here are the other attacks on 3s. 6s explode. And 3s to wound. 15 3-up saves. There's the squad gone.
Yeah, they're dead.
The sisters get wiped out. That is the end of Orcs turn 2, and what a brutal couple of turns. We're only playing 1,500 points, but when you lose stuff, it's significant. Me losing my Gorky and my Warlord was significant, but now all we have on this side of the battle grid is these 3 units of sisters strung out all over the place, with the second in command, the Canoness, leading them down to the charge. You lost your choppy things, you lost your immolator, it's quite significant there. Then we come back here. You can't fire blast weapons in close combat, so that Exorcist can't actually fire in close combat. It's going to have to pull out, which means that these ladies and this immolator, which absolutely toasted this unit last turn, are going to have to turn around and try and toast that unit back again, because if I touch that tank one more time, it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. It's been a brutal game.
I know, it's a bloodbath. I
It's
love
a
it.
bloodbath.
Welcome to 9th edition.
Let's go to Sisters turn 3. Here we are after the Sisters movement phase. This Battle of Sister squad decide to pull back, and the Repentia are coming this way as well. And the ones who were in the woods have bust through the wall because that wall is breachable, so infantry, beasts and swarms can move through it as though it isn't there. Essentially, there is, again, another pulling back to try and deal with this big squad of boys that jumped here, along with the immolator, along with the squad of sisters that got out of the immolator last turn. Essentially, there's going to be lots and lots of firepower coming into the boys because that Exorcist has fallen back. This one stays still. A little bit worried about the Canoness at the back being a bit exposed on her own because she is your warlord.
Yeah.
And I could jump a warp head back there, potentially. But she's got an anti-psychic gun or something.
She does.
What does that do?
Does something bad for psychers.
Okay.
No, I think I will have to check because I've never used one except on Greyfax, and that was like years ago.
Okay.
A different edition. But I think it's additional AP against psychers.
Right, okay.
Or additional damage, one or the other.
Sure. So it looks like you're corralling the troops one more time.
Yeah.
Where are we starting?
Well, we're just going to try and thin this pack of green scum. So I'm basically going to put all the bolter shots, everything's in rapid fire range from this squad into them.
Okay. Hitting on 3s.
Rerolling 1s.
Because you're close to the Canoness.
Stuck to my hand.
There's many 6s. 4s to wound. That 6 will absolutely kill one.
Yeah.
And 5 t-shirt saves. So 5 die in total. Then after this squad fired in, this squad fired in, and the squad out near the Orc lines, and you've killed 10 in total from all your anti-infantry fire. And now the Immolator's going to fire in.
Is indeed.
And you're going to use a miracle dice to make one of the 2d6 auto hits a 4.
Yeah.
And the other one, don't roll a 6 again, is a 6 again.
10 shots.
Which will kill Orc boys on 3s. Oh.
That's not great.
No. Then the heavy bolter fired in. 7 have died in total. There's 10 left. I've taken 17 casualties from that swarm of Orc boys. Now the Exorcist that can fire has got line of sight in. And you're going to fire an Exorcist at Orc boys again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's that truck, but you can't really see it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you can see it at all, if I'm honest.
And they're a threat.
And that, you know, they've been killed already.
Right.
They've come back.
They've only killed 1 unit of sisters though.
I know, but if I get rid of that, it means that I can
Your lines are safe.
Yeah, and
Your
I
lines
can
are
wheel
safe.
round, and yes, you've got these guns, but it's only really that truck that becomes a threat, and I've got stuff that can potentially deal with it.
Okay.
So let's do this.
Okay.
So I'm using a miracle dice for
Right.
4, which gives me a minimum of 2 shots.
Okay.
He says, looking for the 4. There we go.
Right.
So it's 2d3 on top of that.
Okay. 6 shots in on 3s. And absolutely... Oh, rerolling, yes, of course. And then killing Orcs on 2s.
We like killing Orcs on 2s.
You kill 6 of them. Heavy bolter. Hits every time. I am in light cover. But it doesn't help me. And so after your entire army has fired at them, there's 2 Orc boys left. That is the end of the shooting phase. These sisters are charging in. You need a 4. And
you're having a laugh.
they fail the charge. Unless you want a
dear.
command point and reroll that, because you're sending the howling, screaming
Yeah,
sisters
they're
in as well.
going in.
Okay.
If there was more of them, you know, even I would consider it.
Okay,
But no,
so let's send these girls in then. Let's see if they can get in.
I think they need an 8.
And that's a 7. We'll measure up. I think that's okay. Yes, they easily get in. 2 attacks each, so 6 attacks. Hit on 3s, down to 4s because of the choppy thing, back to 3s because of your order.
Yep.
So 3s to hit.
Here we go.
And because they're zealots, they reroll all failed hits.
Cool.
So 2 rerolls there. And it's strength times 2, so their strength 6.
Here we go.
Wounding on 3s, and it's AP minus 3 to damage. Basically, that is 10 wounds.
Yeah.
The Orcs are dead. And they consolidate back towards the Orc lines, and that is the end of Sisters. Turn 3. And in Orcs, turn 3, the truck jumps the barricade, ready to gun them down, and the Weird Boy Will steps around the side to do some psychic might on them as well. Meanwhile, some Gretchen move cautiously through the trees, and these ones are too incautiously close to Weird Boy Will, who's going to try to jump them on a 7. And he fails. I will actually CP that, because that passes. They disappear, reappear here. I like the jumping Gretchen when Mr. AP Burn is around. They're only 1 power. And I could charge forward and tag a tank.
Yeah, my Leviathan's still in therapy.
When he got charged by that 1 Gretchen,
Yeah.
out of flamer range, you did
Yeah.
the 20 shots into the 1 Gretchen, didn't kill it, and it ran forward and tagged your Leviathan, which meant it couldn't shoot. Mind you, now in 9th edition, because it's a vehicle, it could shoot in close combat.
Rematch!
No. Smite on the ladies. I smite them. It's a super smite. Would you like to spend that command point to try and keep them alive?
Of course I would.
So you try and deny the witch first.
Which is obviously going to fail.
And then spend the CP on a 4-up. You block it with a shield of...
Yes.
You block it with your shield of faith. Stratagem is called Purity of Faith. So now the shooter boys are just going to have to shoot you with guns. Spending 2 CP on more Daka, exploding on 5s and 6s, which helps me once, because I've got so many 6s. Here's the exploding dice. I am strength 4, your toughness 3. 11 wounds, but what you can do is start applying them to models that have a 2-up save. So you can start rolling 3 at a time, because that one's within 3 as well from the point of view of the firer. So 2s, and keep going because there's 11. That's 6. 9, 1 falls, and 2 more. Are they magnetised?
They are indeed.
For your thing? That's cool. That's it.
That's
kill
it.
1.
I'm glad you said that because I can't count.
Big shoot misses. Let's fire a mech gun at that thing. I can see its butt.
Do it.
I have 6 shots. Ooh, mama, this could work. This could work. I have faith in Gork and Mork. Daka, 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 daka. Oh no, okay. 3s to wound. I wound all 3 times. 6s to save.
There you go. Nothing.
3d6 damage. Is that enough to kill it?
That is enough to kill it. That is 10
10
wounds.
damage. So it might blow up. This rolling bomb in your line. Please roll a 6. No, it doesn't blow up. It just crumples. At least you get miracle dice because it killed something.
Yes, indeed.
The next mech gun can't actually shoot the vehicles because it's only got 36-inch range. So I have to shoot with the sisters here. Number of shots. 5 shots. Which hit on 5s. Daka, 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 daka. And will wound on 2s. Wound twice. 2 6-up saves on the ladies.
No.
2 of them get obliterated. And now I have 3 tractor guns which have got 48-inch range. So let's try and fire all the way down here at the one that I'm not going to charge. Which hit. Now I need 4s to wound. And I don't wound.
Yay!
That's the end of my shooting phase. I killed a thing.
You did.
So now Grots are going to charge your tank. Would you like to overwatch?
Yeah.
Okay. Rockets came flying in. You killed 1 to overwatch. This is a 9-inch charge. And I roll a 10. And McGretchen end up there before I pile in, making sure I'm still an inch away from those ladies there. And then I pile in, staying out of engagement range from the ladies, but getting into engagement range with the second exorcist, because I've got that 10-inch charge, tagging both of them. And then the Gretchen will attack your tank. We're going to put all the attacks into this tank here. They clamber all over it and try and stick sticks up the exhaust pipes and pull bits off. You know, like when you go to Longleat Safari Park and there's the monkeys climbing all over the cars, trying to rip the wing mirrors off. And this is what's happening. Like monkeys climbing over your car trying to rip the windscreen wipers off.
I'm having flashbacks.
5s to hit. Oh, look at all those hits. Strength 2. Toughness 8.
Yeah.
6s. I wound you once, sir. 3-up save or your wing mirror gets ripped off. Ah.
Have that.
And you can roll over them. You can fight back.
Yeah, God knows how many attacks they've got.
3 attacks each, so 6 attacks. Hitting on 6s. You ran over to wounding on 2s. 6-up t-shirt saves. Do I dodge? You run 2 over.
Flat.
So 3 died in this phase. Their leadership is 4. I fail my leadership. So 1 more runs. But I'm not below half strength. So 1s. 3 more run. There's 3 left. And it looks like that. I've still tagged 2 of your tanks. They're still scrabbling over and you can't fire because they're trying to beat the Gretchen off. That worked. They're trying to beat the Gretchen off. That
The
doesn't
ones that
sound
we
right.
run over had just got caught in the trap.
And that is the end of Orks turn 3. We're about to move on to the sisters' turn 4. You won't be firing them, but yeah, it's a brutal game. It's been a nasty game as you continue your defense of the Basilica. In the sisters' movement phase, we have the second in command and the squads at the front of the fight beginning to move forward to take on the Gretchen. Meanwhile, these 2 exorcists, of course, fall back and shake off the 3 Gretchen from their holy hulls, and the warlord of the sisters steps forward out of the basilica to deal death to these snarling
It will be
Gretchen.
an act of heroism.
Let's shoot some guns. Then the shooting phase was rather quick because the exorcist couldn't fire. The sisters easily killed the Gretchen down here. We had some shots coming against the truck, some small arms taking a wound off, and these sisters, along with a canoness, killed 4 Gretchen down here in this squad of 10. And that's it for your phase, except for a charge.
Yeah.
The Repentia are going to try and charge the truck. It's a 10-inch charge, though, because you're clambering over the barricade.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to overwatch. Good luck, sir.
I'm going to use 1 miracle dice to get 4.
Okay.
Which means I need to roll a 6.
Okay. Good luck.
I don't know whether that's stupid or just going to give me better odds.
It's you. It's never stupid. It's genius.
Okay.
1 in 6 chance.
I'm 6.
No. And that's a failed charge. And interestingly enough, that's the end of Sisters turn 4. Tagging them last turn was really good. Oh, I have a leadership on my Gretchen.
Yeah.
If I roll a 1,
Ooh.
what, you want to charge them?
Yeah, I'm going to charge them with them.
Okay, charge them with them as well then. Yeah, they get in.
Where was that? Yeah.
So they get here. It's 3s to hit because they lost 1 in the squad. Normally it would be 4s to hit, but you are Order of a Martyred Lady.
Yeah, of course we are.
So
Well remembered.
3s. And your strength 3, toughness 2.
Yeah.
So you're wounding on 3s. And I have t-shirt saves. So 2 t-shirt saves. And 2 more die. Leaving 5 Gretchen to nibble at your ankles on 5s. I get a hit. 5's to wound. I don't get a wound. Right. Yeah. So now I need to do the morale. On a 1, it's insane bravery. No, they fail. So 1 more flees. And now I'm below half strength. I've got 4 left. So 1s and 2s, more flee. So there's actually 3 left there.
Amazing.
And that is the end of turn 4. A couple of Gretchen left over there and shooter boys in this truck and then a line of mech guns. That's all I have left. Mind you, all you have left is this footprint here and the footprint back there, and that's pretty much it. And I have one last trick up my sleeve. You killed my warlord. Now your warlord has left a jumping area bubble behind you. Now I'm going to come for your warlord. Right, only 3 things moved. The boys got out of the truck next to Weird Boy Will. The truck has sped around here, ready to ram those girls in the rear. And now I need to warpath them up and to jump them because your canoness is somewhat exposed. So first I'm going to warpath, and that passes. It becomes 11 actually. Do you want to try and deny that with your purity of thingybob?
I know what's coming.
Now we need to jump. I need a 7. And that passes. That becomes an 8. I am jumping them, but you're going to try and deny and then do your purity of faith thing. So the deny fails. And then a 4 up, purity of faith kicks in. And it kicks in. And you stop the jump. How could you? I was going to land back there and then charge a warlord. And it would have been glorious.
She's just really faithful.
It would have been... No. Damn it. Okay. All right, okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's good here. Instead, I guess, if there's any in range in the shooting phase, let's try and shoot at these girls. These are the shots in range. 3 hits with the daggers, 3 wounds, 3 6-up saves like cover, and then 5 up ignore damage because they're fundamentalists.
6s. No. 5s. No.
Ooh, I kill a squad.
They are dead.
Wow.
And I get a dice.
Oh yeah. Purity thingy bomb. Big shooter. Big shooter.
Oh, I also get 1 for the Gretchen as well.
Big shooter can shoot at her, right? The canoness.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot at her. I fail. Okay, onto the big guns. I can now see down and hit one of your immolators with this mech gun. So D6 shots is 2 shots, which hit on not that, and do a mortal wound to that one. And then the other one will fire down for 4 shots, which hit on and do a mortal wound to me, but more dagger. Okay, only hit once. And wounds on 4s. Wounds! You need a 6-up save on that one there.
No problem.
Nope, D6 damage, 5 damage. Right, it's got 7 wounds left. And I've just measured up and looked, and all 3 tractor guns can see it. So let's fire all of them at the same time. They all hit, but it's strength 8 versus toughness 8. I am going to command point one of these because I need to kill it.
Oh.
Okay, -2. So 2 5-up saves on your Exorcist. Make 1 d6 damage for 4 damage.
Oh.
It's on 3 wounds left, but I didn't blow it up. And that's the end of my shooting phase. Spending 2 CP. I've got 3 left on ramming speed on this truck. You roll 3 dice. I ram into the ladies that are fighting the Gretchen. And then on a 2-up, I do D3 mortal wounds to the unit that I just rammed. Because it's the only way I'm really going to kill them.
Yeah.
And there's 2 ladies there. And that's 3 mortal wounds. And they get rammed from behind from an orc truck. And obviously it's a traumatic experience and they get removed as casualties.
No one's going to like that.
And that's the end of my turn 4. We're heading to the end game now. The orcs have cleared the lines. The second in command is somewhat exposed. And this unit of Howling Banshees has gone. All we have is 6 models this far forward, stepping out from the Basilica.
Yeah.
The 2 Exorcists down at the back. And one of the unit of Battle Sisters. You've got very little left, but as have the orcs, as we head on to Sisters, turn 5. And here we are after the Sisters movement phase. The second in command steps back behind the barricades with her Battle Sister squad saying, "You shall not pass." They have repelled the orcs out of the Basilica, out of the holy place for now. The injured Exorcist trundles forward, bravely, I would say. And the second one comes forward as well, forming a wall of shields. And then behind, the Warlord charges forward, advances forward along with the second Sisters squad. So you're down to the last few units, facing the last few units of orcs. Is this enough in this game of annihilation? Well, let's go on to your last shooting phase. Sisters down here firing into the orcs. One of them dies because that's a 6, and the other one, you kill 2, and then you have the heavy bolter as well.
Yeah.
Firing into the orcs on 4s, re-rolling 1s, and killing on 2s. 3, sorry. Okay, you killed 3 in total from the squad of boys. Now the Exorcist, the uninjured one, is firing down into this mech gun here.
Yeah.
Forced to hit because I am obscured or in dense cover. So 2 hits and forced to wound at AP -1. I need a 6. I don't get a 6. It's down to 2 wounds, in fact, because it's been overheating as it's been firing. And you got 3 D3 shots.
And I'm going to spend a CP for my re-rolly goodness on the
Re-rolly
on the
goodness on the rockets, okay?
Yes,
Because you are hitting on 4s right now.
I mean, it's probably going to be purity of something. That's usually what it is, isn't
Yes.
it? So I may as well.
Devastating salvo. Number of shots.
Devastating refrain.
That's
there
the
we
one.
Go. We got there in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. But I'll re-roll the 3 just because. There you go.
Wow.
That's why. There we go.
8 shots hitting on 4s because it's dense cover. Rerolling 1s. Wow. 7 out of 8 hits. 2s to wound. No, 3s to wound. I'm toughness 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I don't get a save. So that is 6d6 damage. I have 2 wounds left. Do you want to roll it to see how much damage it is? What is that? That's 16 damage.
I think it's dead.
Yeah, you kill a mech gun. So you're firing the injured one into the other one. Unfortunately, the injured one is hitting on 5s now because it's on 3 wounds left. -1, so it's hitting on 6s. Heavy bolter. Reroll the 1s. Hits once and wounds on a 4. And does wound. 6s? Nothing. So this one's down to 3 wounds left. And then 3d3. 7 shots hitting on 6s. And rerolling 1. Oh, you get 3 hits anyway.
Nice.
3s to wound.
We can do it. Oh, just 1.
Just 1 wound. I don't get a save. It's d6 damage. This thing's got 3 wounds left.
50-50 chance.
Basically.
Yeah.
It dies. And that's the end of the shooting phase. And in fact, that's the end of Sister's very last turn. I have 3 guns left. Weird Boy Will and some orcs, which need a leadership test. 5 plus 3 is 8. Their leadership is 7. They fail. One of them will flee. And on 1s, like those 3 1s, 4 1s, 4 more run away, leaving only 3 left. So that's the end of Sister's turn 5. It's all about power levels. We add up the power levels, divide by 10. I don't know how many points these Exorcists are worth, but one of them's on 3 wounds. I've got 3 tractor guns left. So, yeah, we'll give it a go. in Orks turn 5. So obviously the tractor gun stayed still. The truck went round there. I have 4 command points now. Weird Boy Will came round here. First off, he's going to smite, because there's a squad right there, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's cocked. That's a 7. Are you going to spend your CP, because you seem to have still many, to try and deny the D3 wounds on that unit? Or are you going to let D3 mortal wounds hit that unit?
I mean, I want to save it, because it gives me some gun. But at the same time,
there's no more shooting. This is it.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
it's
it's turn 5.
Yeah,
so 4 up to deny, which will fail, and then the 4 up on your magical thing. No, doesn't do it. So that costs you a strat, but you've got some strats left over.
Yeah.
D3 mortal wounds on those sisters for 3 mortal wounds on those sisters. Then I'm going to try and jump the boys. And I fail. So I'm going to spend a command point. And I pass. Turn 5. It's an all or nothing move. Poof, back there. It would have been better if some of them hadn't have ran away. Let's shoot at that lady in the back. I miss completely.
Well, they're a bit disorientated from that jump.
A little bit. Okay, tractor cannon number 1 into this thing. Hits. Wounds. AP -2 on your organ. You save it. Tractor cannon number 2 into the thing. Wounds. AP -2, sir.
Oh, go through.
D6 damage.
Oh, it's dead.
That's a dead exorcist. Which doesn't blow up. And God. Tractor cannon number 3. There's nothing to fire at now, really. So, well, the idea is to ramming speed. I'll fire at them. Hit. Wounds. It's -1 because of the cover. So you have a 4 up on them. And they duck and cover as the tractor beam zips overhead. Now we're going to charge. The truck is going to... Oh no, I've got shots on the truck as well. So I'll shoot at the girls. Daka, daka, daka. And wounds on A3. I wound a girl. They have a 2-up save.
Save.
Right, and now the truck is going to charge. I'm going to do ramming speed again. Put me down to 1 CP. Should get roll 3 dice. I'm going to charge them. So that works. And then at the end of the charge phase, I roll a dice. I need a 2 up. That's a 2 up, and it does D3 mortal wounds to the ladies. And that's important because that's another squad that get wiped out for power and stuff. And then we come over here to this charge, 9-inch charge against that lady there. And you're spending a CP on Overwatch?
Yeah, I may as well.
All right.
I mean, it's all or nothing.
Okay,
Stage, isn't it?
you're condemned to bolt gun.
I mean, none of
Let's see if she can hit.
But
no.
Yeah.
It's a 9-inch charge, which I can re-roll.
Oh, no.
Because there's a power claw there. There's a claw, and you're afraid of the claw.
I mean, Alan's lovely, but I do fear him.
The claw, I fear him as well. 9, and that's a 10. To take down your warlord. This is going to be green and glorious. Normal attacks from the normal boys. 3s to hit. I hit twice. 3s to wound though. She's only toughness 3. A wound. A 3-up save on your cannon S.
Saved.
Now to claw. 4s to hit. 3 attacks. And I'm looking for the 6s, which are smacker, 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 which is another attack. Only 2. But this could potentially do 6 damage.
Yeah.
2s to wound. And I've got 1 dice left. 1 command point reroll left. Which I'm going to use.
I thought you might.
Oh no, I won't kill you. Okay, 4-up invulnerable save on your lady.
Oh, it goes through though.
D6, D3, 2 damage. She takes 2 wounds. She's not dead. She turns around and she fights back. She only has a chainsword, but she has 5 attacks with the chainsword, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Oh,
everything
nice.
hits. There's lots of death to the false emperor there.
Death
Wounding
to the false
on
green.
5s. She wounds once. Oh no, because the 6 to wound is an AP minus thingy, so she will kill 1, but not enough to force morale. And that's the very end of the turn. That's the very end of the game. While these battle in the Basilica here with 1 unit of battle sisters and this canoness here. I have a rampaging truck and some mech guns over here, and I have no idea how much power on either side we killed. So let's go away and do some maths. Before we do maths, who do you think has won? Because your exorcists are worth quite a lot of power.
Yeah.
And you've got your warlord, that's quite a bit of power. And that's a canoness as well, quite a bit of power. And you've got quite a bit of power there.
I mean, when I look at what's on the table and I look at what you've got left on the table, I feel good. And then when I look at what I've got on the side over there,
yeah,
what you've got on the side over there, I feel very bad.
Yeah, because I don't know how much power we started off with to begin with. I don't know how many points, but how many power.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess right now, I'd say that you've got it.
Yeah, I mean...
But you may not have killed much power, because Gretchen are like 1 point.
I know.
And trucks are like 3 points.
And then all
how
your
much was the Gorkanaut?
I know, that's the crucial thing, I think.
So you add up the power rating of all the units that were destroyed, divide by 10 and round up. How much power did I kill?
You killed 52 power.
52 power divided by 10 is 5.2. Rounding up is 5.
Yeah.
Or is that 6? If you round up.
But in my book, it
says rounding up. Yeah, rounding is 5.
Yeah, if you were over 5, then you would...
So let's say
5.5, it would then be 6.
And in mine, you killed 43. Divide by 10, so...
4.
I get 5 points, you get 4 points, but you slayed my warlord.
I did. Which
is 5 points each. And if you round up, that would be 6 points. If I round up, that would be 6 points each. Basically, if I'd have killed your warlord, I'd have won. And her holding out like that means this game is a draw. However, it says units that were destroyed. There was a unit over here with a couple of models left on it. And then the strat is you take it off the table. So long as the unit is reduced, is less than half starting size, you remove it from the table and bring it back on. I don't know if that unit counts as destroyed or not. If it counts as destroyed, then you won.
Yeah.
If it doesn't count as destroyed, then it's a draw. But what I'm willing to say here is, because of narratively speaking, you have defended the Basilica. Apart from these guys back here rampaging, if there was another turn, she would fall back. You would nuke them from orbit.
There would be a lot
Then
of pain.
I've got a truck roaming around and some mech guys and some... I'm willing to concede. I'm willing to, even though it's 5 points to 5 and we don't know what happens with that unit over there, I'm willing to say that this is a victory for the sisters. You've defended the Basilica, and this is the way the world ends. Though there's a bunch of Orc players out there screaming at the camera right now saying, no, it was a draw, goddammit. But I'm willing to say it was a sister's victory. Your shield of faith was pure. You've defended this Basilica. It was only your second game of 9th edition. How did you find it, my friend?
Well, I love it. It's good. I love the terrain rules, the depth it gives to it.
Yeah.
And makes you think about where you put things a bit more.
We did a new strategy as well, that desperate fallout thing, that desperate breakout that came into place. What do you think about playing a mission where we just do the power level, divide by 10? Does that still feels like 9th? That still feels a little bit different to me.
Yeah.
Because in previous editions, the kill point ones were just, you add up the units that were killed.
Yeah, whoever killed
so
more.
Now it's about power.
Which I think is potentially a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
Because I killed more in terms of footprint.
Right.
But then against Orks you would.
You would,
it was still a draw in points. So it gives a feel of that unstoppable green tide.
These are 8 points. My Gorkanaut player, that was 15 points right there.
Yeah, so if you killed that, that would have been...
That would have been a
game.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think if I hadn't been maybe distracted by Gretchen...
Gretchen?
Yeah.
Charging your exorcists.
Yeah.
And stopping you from shooting.
If I just kind of thought, whatever, leave them to it, and perhaps used, or when I kind of turned back to get rid of that unit of boys, if I'd maybe concentrated on something that had more power level.
There's a couple of things, yes, exactly. There's a couple of things that could have done differently as well. Say all the shots that your shooting in turn 1 was atrocious, but your saving was glorious. So if I'd have blown it, no, my shooting was pretty good against the Rhino, but you kept making 6s. So if I'd have blown that open and then charged in with that, it could have been different over here. Mind you, that explosion made things very different as well.
That explosion was ludicrous.
If there wasn't that explosion, then I think you would have clearly won. If I'd have managed, if your Shield of Faith hadn't stopped jumping back here, I could have charged her in a previous turn with 10 dudes.
That would have been decisive, I think.
That would have been a lot better. And I'd have had, and then I would have spent that CP that I spent in the last turn on being able to fight again if she was still alive. Orcs is never beaten, I think it is, and just smack her one more time.
Yeah.
And that extra point of killing your warlord would have
tipped the balance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot more stratagems that I could have brought into play, but I'm still learning the army, so kind of may have missed a few opportunities, but I think on the whole, good.
I think Sisters are a strong book. I think if you get into medium range with Sisters, you're in trouble because they can throw down a lot of firepower. Yes, they're only toughness 3, but they do have a 3-up save.
Yeah.
And these things are freaking awesome. And immolators are awesome. And how many more of the roboty things of Doom, the Mortifactors or whatever? How many of them have you got?
6 more.
6 more?
Yeah.
You've got 8 of them?
Yeah.
They're quite scary.
Yeah, I've got 4 more built and painted and 2 that are in the box. But
I'd love to see an army with 8 of them just charging up the table. Yeah, straight up the table.
Because you've got the flamers and the buzzsaws on basic penitent engines as well.
Yeah.
So we didn't even get to see them in combat.
No. I was too scared of them, so I shot them.
And I've got a lot more Repentia as well.
A lot more Repentia.
Yeah, so I have a vision of a big bomb in rhinos. Disgorging lots of crazy ladies with massive chainsaws.
You could have 2 units of them getting disgorged with crazy ladies. Because I know they're strength 6, -3, 2 damage, but there's a strat so they can fight twice.
And with all the zealot rules.
And they've got to re-roll their hits.
Yeah. You put the superior in there as well, so you've got kind of more re-rolls. It's just...
frightening. Yeah. Frightening is the word for it.
And that's what they're meant to be. I mean, they're crazy zealot ladies with massive chainsaws. So I'm scared of that.
What's not to love? I will be getting some Sisters at some point before the Eye of Terror closes over. I love them so much. But thank you for coming down, Mr. AP Burn.
Always a pleasure.
If you'd like some more battle reports from me, please check out deploymentzone.tv. Thank you to everyone who already has, who supports us that way, supports us on Patreon, on DZTV. You guys are legend. We really appreciate it. But to everyone out there, happy wargaming.